Stevie Wonder was born on the 13th of May 1950 in Michigan, United States. His mother, Lula Mae, was a successful songwriter who was usually occupied trying to build a stable career in songwriting against her husband's will. Stevie was born prematurely, 6 weeks before the actual delivery date that was scheduled by the doctor. As a result of his premature birth, he was diagnosed with retinopathy of prematurity, a disease of the eye that typically affects prematurely born babies. The growth of his eyes was aborted, causing the retinas to detach, which resulted in blindness. Stevie grew up as a blind child but never acted like one. Even though he couldn't see, he was a very smart, intelligent and happy kid. At the age of 4, his parents had a divorce. His mother took him and his siblings and moved to Detroit, the largest city in Michigan. There, the family attended a local Baptist church where Stevie sang as a child in the choir. At the age of 6, despite him being blind, he began learning to play the piano and drums. Before completing his primary education, he befriended a young boy who loved music just like himself. They both formed a musical group, playing on the streets and at parties sometimes. In 1961, 11-year-old Stevie composed his first song titled Lonely Boy, which he performed at an audition. During his performance at the audition, the CEO of a record label known as Berry Gordy was intrigued and greatly impressed by Stevie's unique vocals and dexterity on the keyboard. After the audition, he offered Stevie a record deal, which the young man accepted gladly. Stevie, now signed to a record label, had to juggle both his professional music career and education. With his mother right beside him, he was able to cope successfully. A few years later, he released his first album, which had a great reception. At the time, Stevie was beginning to gain national prominence as a well-talented musician. He continued his music career until in the late 1980s when everything almost ended for him. On the 6th of August 1988, Stevie had a ghastly motor accident that nearly claimed his life. He sustained several injuries that kept him bedridden for several weeks. Fortunately, Stevie recovered from the accident and got his normal life back. To this day, he is still a celebrated music star and he is considered one of the world's best songwriters. Throughout his musical career, he has sold more than 100 million records, enlisting him among the best-selling artists of all time. Sometimes, being able to succeed may seem impossible due to some compelling factors that are likely to hinder you. However, there is actually nothing you can't succeed in, provided you are willing to be committed to doing that particular thing with diligence. Due to your unpleasant situation, you may currently have significant reasons why you feel you can't succeed. But bear in mind that some of the world's most successful persons today equally had reasons why they wouldn't have succeeded. They ignored their fears and marched on to stardom. Bill Gates said, "There is no elevator to success, you have to take the stairs." Success is not a thing that happens speedily. You would have to follow the ideal process, which can appear to be tough most times. Life may bring you a truckload of problems to cause discouragement, but that's not enough reason why you shouldn't believe in your chances of succeeding. George S. Patton said, "Success is how high you bounce when you hit the bottom." Sometimes, being able to succeed can be dependent on how you respond to the problems of life. You don't have to feel depressed or traumatized each time you face difficulties. Rather, keep bouncing back up and fill yourself with your optimism. Zig Ziglar said, "You may only succeed if you desire succeeding. You may only fail if you don't mind failing." Whatever thing you desire and diligently pursue will definitely become yours. This is a principle that applies to all spheres of life. When you desire to succeed, work for it and it will certainly happen. Keep desiring positive things. Keep seeing yourself winning, not failing. Stevie Wonder's life was combated with huge obstacles, yet he succeeded greatly. Don't permit failure. Don't let anything prevent you from becoming a success.